Okay.
Awesome.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Are we live? We're live, yes.
Good morning, Green Gaming Fest 2022. We will be running Jak II Any with Recon. Hello, Recon.
Hi, I'm Recon. I held the world record in this game, believe it or not. That's very cool. Yes, I do, really quickly, however, just want to give a shout out to Bob Hillary Puff. Sadly, he is unable to join us today, but the fact he offered, being very, very late where he lives right now, it's about 5 in the morning for him, something like that, and he offered to be here to commentate this run with me. I'm very, very happy, very grateful for that, but sadly he was unable to be here. But you know, we're fine. It's all good. Appreciate you, Bob. I love you. He's a great dude. But yes, we have Smoker in the call as well.
Hello, hello. I also run this game. I'm going to be helping with commentary where I can.
Very, very nice. So yes, the donation incentive for the dog cam was also reached. I believe it or not, I'm not a dog. That is my dog. He's very cute. He's lovely. Okay. Right, I shall get to the start screen, and we can be ready. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I am basically ready to get going. If everyone else is right now.
Absolutely. Good luck, and let me know when I can read another quick donation, but I can let you start.
You can read another quick donation if needed. We can wait for a second.
Okay, well, it's just that our previous runner, Rav, donates another $60 because I think he made a typo in his donation. He says, oops, here's the rest of that $80. Well, thank you so much, Rav. We appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for being here. We have a lot of very great rewards, so I encourage you to stay and plant some more trees. All right, good luck, Recon.
I appreciate that. Okay, the way this game works, I'm going to unpause. There's going to be a cutscene that starts playing. I will skip that cutscene, and after that cutscene is done, that's when timer starts. So, yeah, I can count us down from when I'm going to skip the cutscene, and then when I say go, it should just be fine, I think. So, yeah, if everyone's ready, okay. I shall count us down. 3, 2, 1, go. That is, we're off to the races. Hopefully everything is working fine, and we're all having a great old time.
It's all good. Good luck.
Thank you for the good luck. Yes. So this is Jak II. Jak's been a naughty boy. He's in prison, so we're gonna have to get out of that real quick. It's a bit of parkour heavy section in this area right now, so I'm gonna focus up a tiny little bit here. If you want to add anything, Smoker, that's you know.
Yeah, sure. So this is really the only part of the run where you're going to see like the on-foot movement. Jak II takes place in the future to the first game, and so once you leave this little prison, you're essentially going to be abandoning all on-foot movement for vehicles
and RNG.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, so that is pretty much all the on-foot movement that we're going to be doing, because there's a lot that's well, we don't do much on-foot movement. We get a lot of speedy stuff that we get to do. Now, this is also the only place you'll probably see our friend here, Dark Jak. He's beautiful. It's the only sorry, English. It's the only part of the run where you will actually see him. And the only reason for that is because we don't actually have a use for him other than this one section at the start, so... I mean, technically we could use him later on, but... Nah, we won't. Oh, I have just hit that guy, and now we have the guards on us. So yes, this is the very start of the run. A lot of vehicle movement. We need one of these vehicles. these vehicles have a little hop, and it's going to let us perform a little bit of a skip right now. It's called we're going to do red barrier skip. So usually we can't go into different parts of the city because of different barriers that are going to block us off. But if we just jump out of bounds, we can just ignore those barriers real quick. So we're in the red part of the city right now, and yeah, we're going to do what's called yellow barrier skip, and that's done very successfully though, which is very, very nice.
Yeah, so the reason he's skipping like these barriers, it seems kind of random, but he's actually going to be heading to a level called Mars Tomb, and you're only supposed to have access to Mars Tomb at the end of the second act of the game, but we can get in there early and then start the missions that take place in that area, and that's going to skip about 60% of the game, and that allows us to complete Jak II in about an hour.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's one of the earliest known Jak II skips, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think the first documentation of it was like 2009, so it's been around for a very long time.
Yeah, before a lot of the serious runs of this game started coming in. But yeah, we're going to do a little zoomer jump here, and hopefully this works. Please work. Ah, that's unfortunate. That's fine. We can we'll do it the old-fashioned way. I've always sucked at that. Even the top players suck at that sometimes, so it's fine. That was supposed to be a death warp. We spin down there and we land in the tomb, but instead we can do this backup version. We can do this backup version where we punch through the door here, and then we restart the mission, and it will put us right where the death warp would have. So we lost a little bit of time there, but that isn't the end of the world. But yes, this is Mars Tomb. We're not supposed to be here until the very end of Act 2, but we're here about 3 minutes into the run, so beautiful. Oops. Okay. Would you like to talk a little bit about Daxter Chase Skip, Smoke?
Yeah, sure. So he's going to be trying to do this skip where one of the parts of the Mars 2 mission is you have to play as Daxter instead of Jak, and you get chased by a like a large spider egg, which acts as a boulder. But he's gonna try and jump into Dark Eco, which would normally kill you, but if he lands in water at the same time, that's actually going to give him a glitch called invulnerability. So he won't be able to die to the boulder, and so that's gonna allow him to walk past it as Daxter and then skip this entire sequence.
Well, if I could get it, that is, yeah.
It's really tricky.
Yeah. Under intense pressure, it's not easy, so we're gonna have to do that again. Unfortunately, that can happen where you just die in the eco. That is a killable substance that will kill you, but there's a very, very slim margin of it that won't kill you, and that's the water that'll give us the invulnerability. So we'll try here. It's not an easy trick. It was actually discovered when I started running this game, about a month into when I started running this game, which was pretty recently. I've only been running for about 8 months. It was about September that this was discovered. There you go. We got the invulnerability glitch here, and then we're just gonna take some damage to not crash the game. And yeah, that's that bit of the skip done. Now we have the harder part of the skip, in my opinion. Very nice. So what happened there? Oh, okay. Uppercuts of shame. There you go. So what happened there, I jumped as the spider attacked me, and it turned me back into Jak. And I actually don't have an explanation for why that works, but if you know at all, Smoker, then...
You're putting me on the spot here, man. I don't know how this, like, happens, but it's just a convenient part of the trick, I guess. I'm sure there's a reason for it, but...
Some smart people in the Jak community will probably know. Yeah. And yeah, there you go. We've hit the cutscene trigger there, so that essentially skips a minute-long chase section, essentially. So that's really cool.
Nice, good stuff.
Hell yeah. And this I should mention actually what we're doing right now. We're flying through the walls. You know, we're speedrunners. We don't. Oh, I missed the outbounds platform. That's fine. Yeah, we're flying through the walls. This is called the hover glitch. This is the biggest speed tech in this game. You will see me do this all over. Well, you'll see me try and do this all over the game. Should I say? It's a very fast way to move around, and it's a very fast way to get out of bounds quickly. I'm gonna pay attention to this audio puzzle real quick. Okay, sorry, I had to count that in my head. That should be 7 low, if I recall. It is indeed. Okay, there's an audio puzzle here, and we have a pattern sheet for said audio puzzle. Makes it easy. Oh, I've got the wrong pattern actually. I've just noticed I have the wrong pattern. I did the wrong one, but that should be fine. Let me just double check this here. Sorry, that should be that one, and then that one. Yes, okay. Technical difficulties with the audio puzzle, but that's fine. We got it in the end. Apparently, I can't count, so yeah, that's the audio puzzle. That's the biggest. That's one of the biggest things in this run. There's a audio puzzle really early on, and if you mess that up, then, well, like I just did, we lose a little bit of time. So that essentially marks the end of Mars Tomb. We now go to fight our friend, the evil antagonist of the video game, Baron Praxis. Our friend up here, he's after that rock. It's a very important rock in the story, and he really wants it. So let's not let him have it. That's the idea. Oop! I took damage on the bomb. Essentially, this fight, not in this phase, but in the last phase, is quite RNG dependent. There is a way to manipulate him a little bit. I should mention what I did there, actually. I spun... Usually it takes 4 bombs to hit him and to damage him into his next phase, but if we hit 5 bombs, it actually damages him into his next phase, so we don't have to hit as many. I am taking a lot of damage. I am dead. Okay. This is not going according to plan so far, but that is okay. Okay, so there you go. We kill his little friends. If you get too close, I've noticed, especially in the version that I play on the PS5/PS4 version, the 2017 release. Those spiders, if you get too close to them, your shot actually can miss them. So it's not very handy when that happens if you're too close. So you completely miss them and they just give you some damage. Yes, okay, that's the second phase done. We're fine. Rubik's in the chat, thank you for the good luck. We are already struggling a little bit, but it's okay. But yes, this, we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to hit him with 4 bombs this time, because if you see, we've dealt essentially double damage to him, because we hit 5 in the last phase. So we hit him with 4, and now his health bar goes up again, and we only need to hit him with 3 in this phase. So would you like to talk about the Baron manip a little bit, Smoke? Because very lovely.
Yeah, sure. So
ooh, good RNG on that one.
When Baron sort of goes into this third phase, he'll raise up from the ground, but his position is always relative to Jak, and so if you know sort of like when he's going to appear and like on what side, we can actually skip like a laser phase in the boss fight, which saves like a couple of seconds per attack.
Yeah, what you saw me do there, I jumped from either side of that hole, and whatever side on that hole you're on, it will depend where he arrives. So if you go to he started on the left, I believe, so I went to the right side of the hole and he appeared back on the left. So it skipped the long waiting animation between the laser and when he actually fires another bomb. So that's it's very helpful. Nice little manip that we can do there. Yes, that is the tomb completed. We've essentially skipped 60% of the video game.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest segments of the run too, so good job.
Thank you. Didn't go as smoothly as we wanted, but, you know, happens.
It never does. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, you know, still a lot of the top runners still struggle with that section a lot. It's a reset heavy section. This game is very, very reset heavy. If you ever see some of the top runners, we do struggle a lot on that section. We do tend to reset, especially on that dive, the taxi chase skip dive that I attempted and failed once. that section is a bit challenging, and if you die on that, you lose the anytime save that the trick would have given you. So it's just worth it to reset at that point. Well, most runners do. Most runners do reset at that point. So, all right.
This mission coming up is a really good example of how broken the infinite hover glitch is. I don't know if we explained it, but we can like later on if needed. But he's basically going to hover from the beginning of the mission all the way to the end and skip like everything.
And just for swag points, there you go. That's a swag hover right there. Okay, I can try my best to explain how it works, because I'm not entirely too sure how it works, but...
Yeah, I can if you want.
Okay, here you go. Here's the hover. So essentially we just fly through the wall really quickly, and we end up over here on the other side of the wall, and now we're essentially at the very end of the level.
Yeah, and so that works by, on the jetboard you can do some like tricks, and you can actually cancel tricks, like one trick into another, and with a very like precise combination of tricks, we can actually get Jak stuck into a animation loop where he's continuously gaining height. And yeah, it's basically infinite. You can go as high as you want, as long as you want. It's pretty cool, and it's basically the bread and butter of the Jak 2 speedrun.
Yeah, you will see me do this everywhere, literally everywhere. Well, there's literally another one coming up right now. Because we don't like walls. You know, walls are an illusion in this game, so we decided, you know, we'll just fly over it real quick, I suppose. Now, yes, now onto these sewers. This is a quite auto-scrollery based level, so there's not going to be much going on in here, honestly. It's just we're going to kill a few enemies, and that's it, realistically.
Yeah, this is one of those missions that people, when they first play the game, like, it's one of those really like tricky missions, because there's a lot of death points and there's no checkpoint, but as long as you know where the enemies are going to be, like, you can cruise through it pretty easy. But yeah, there's nothing really to talk about too much here.
Yeah, there's going to be 3 in this room. We kill 3 in this room. Sorry. Sorry, coughing. Oh, I still have a really bad cough. Apologies for that. Yeah, we come into this room, we kill these 3, and I think it's only really useful on the PS2, the original version of this game. To go back and activate that dialogue. I think it reduces lag a little bit, but I tend to do that because it's like it's a really good habit. Well, it's not a really good habit, it's just a habit that I do. I've always done it, so we might as well keep the tradition. But yes, these enemies here are all like RNG dependent. So there are 3 points, I believe, that they can come down from, and when you're standing on where I was standing over here, you want as little of them to come over on that side as possible, just so you don't have to keep moving around the areas. So I didn't get that many spawns on that side, but it wasn't great. We're gonna take some damage here and actually go into this next room really quickly and clear these enemies out really quickly. Did I do it? Okay, I did it. I wasn't sure then, that took a little second. But essentially, 2 enemies would have spawned behind us if I didn't do that. 2 enemies would have spawned behind us if I didn't do that, and skipping those enemies can save a good few seconds, so we managed to skip them, which I'm really happy with. There's a chance if you do that a little too slowly, it doesn't skip the enemies, and you just lose time for no reason. But yeah. Now, as the last part of the auto-scrollers coming up a bit here, we're just gonna dodge these laser dudes. Wait for them to come a little bit closer and shoot them. We're gonna dodge these laser dudes. And once these guys are gone, we're gonna go stare at the floor for about 40 seconds. So yes, there you go. And this floor has a really nice texture. I really do enjoy it. Yeah, there's not really much else to this mission other than the really big ambush section that's coming up here. So once that ambush is completely done and finished, then that will be the end of the sewers mission and a really long, about 3 to 4 minute auto scroller, I want to say.
Yeah, so, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, this ambush I've died a handful of times on when I was first learning. This ambush it's not easy. Essentially, we want to conserve as much yellow ammo as possible. So you can see I have on my guns on the side there, we have a yellow, a red, and a blue. I want to conserve as much yellow ammo for the next mission as possible. So I'm going to try and not use as much I say that I am kind of spraying and praying with the blue gun. It's a really bad habit of mine, but these guys will die in 3 shots to this blue gun. So did we kill these guys in 3 shots with the blue gun, and we don't waste as much yellow ammo, and then we should be fine.
Yeah, you want yellow here for the next mission, but blue is actually a really good gun against these metalheads because they have a bit of a stun lock to it. So as long as you're shooting a metalhead, they can't actually like attack you or the NPCs that you're supposed to escort. Yeah,
if they die, by the way, if they die, mission over. One of them dies, mission is completely over. We have to start again from the very, very start. But yes, around 100-ish ammo should be fine for the yellow gun, so... And that's the end of the sewers mission. It's not not the longest in the game, but it's still not the nicest. Definitely not the nicest. I'm gonna do a time save here for only saves time on not PS2. We're gonna hover up here, and we can jump back down, and it can kill us, but I'm not very consistent at that. So we're just gonna hover up the elevator and completely skip the door. Well, wait for the door to open and completely just skip the elevator ride. It only saves time on the PS3, PS4, and PS5 versions of this game, just because the doors open a lot faster than they do on the PS2 version. So, nice little tiny little bit of time save there. We're gonna gonna do this mission now. This is the Bombots mission. It is not easy. Not an easy mission. We're gonna go kill three robots that are gonna try and kill us, so we're gonna stop them from doing that. Well, we're gonna try. That's the idea. But yeah, there's not really much to talk about at the moment, other than we're gonna do a hover over this wall. Saves a little bit of time. We can land out of bounds and right next to where this bombot is. If we do something called a free fall here, essentially it cancels out the animation of us falling, and I can change the direction. It's very nice. This is what we need the yellow ammo for, as well.
You'll notice that he's spinning and kicking the bomber at the same time as he's shooting. That actually amplifies the damage of the yellow gun by quite a bit, so that's why he's able to kill them so fast.
Well, we say so fast. That one was a little slow because I didn't actually manage to get myself stuck underneath him properly. So
yeah, relatively fast.
Yeah.
You got 2 more.
Yep. You get yourself stuck underneath them and you jump, spin, and shoot. That one was a much faster one. You jump, spin, and shoot like that because it will amplify all of the damage. Believe it or not, actually, I have heard a little rumor that spinning is the thing that's dealing most damage to them, not the actual bullets. So, jumping and spinning there.
I think the spin combos into the gunshot, which
right.
Adds more damage.
I don't know where I heard that. I heard someone say the spinning actually deals a lot more damage to them than the actual gunshots do, but gonna get yourself stuck underneath this one. This one I'm usually quite quick at. I shouldn't have said anything, but that's fine. Yes, that's the Bombots mission. I still actually have a lot of time saving that mission in my PB, actually, so if we do that well, then we save time. We're on our way to a race now. We're gonna go race some people because, do you know what? We're feeling nice. You know, we're feeling lucky. We want to win. We want to win the tournament championship. So, you know, there is a story reason to that. I just cannot think of what it is.
I got that. Ask Recon, are you doing lap skips?
I'm gonna try.
Yeah,
they're not gonna be easy. Oh. So essentially,
go for it once, see how you go.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty good at them, I want to say, but you know, we'll try. You know, we'll try. Ooh, I hear myself. Okay, so essentially the lap skips here. We're gonna grab a boost. We're gonna try not to get bumped around by these guys. I'm gonna take a little shortcut here, very nice. We can actually grab 3 boosts here, which could save us a little bit of time. Now, the biggest enemy are the NPCs here, but essentially, if we get ourselves caught down here, we do a little hop, we get right over the wall, and that skips the lap. It's very, very, very nice. There's probably a little bit more to it than that, but that's essentially how it works. We just jump over a wall, and you know what? We save quite a bit of time.
Yeah, so those like little purple things are basically like a boost. You know, think of like a mushroom from Mario Kart. You basically use that to gain a crap ton of momentum from its standing position.
Okay, I lost a lot of speed going around that corner, so I had to stop and then use one of my boosts, but that is fine. There's a chance you can actually miss the trigger for this. I have in the past. So I have to be kind of careful exactly where I'm jumping. Because if I jump too far to the left, I can miss the trigger. If I jump too far to the right, there's a chance I can miss the trigger. So we kind of have to hit the middle ground like that there. That's fine. A good time for this race is around 1:30 to 1:35. Usually this race takes about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes to do casually. So about 1 minute and 30 is pretty good. So that's the class race right there. Really, really quick, really simple.
Yeah, great job. Just for like reference, like a time without using the skip is about 2 minutes or just under 2 minutes. So you can see just how much time that actually saves.
Yeah. And in all fairness, those lap skips that I did there, they were not that fast actually. So if you look at some of the other world record holders, like for example, Ouija is ridiculously good at them. Having actually found the strat himself, he's ridiculously good at them. He can get around a 1:20, 1:19, which is like the most optimal time that you want to be getting on those lap skips, which isn't too bad. So a 1:30 is a nice little average that I can get. But if I can, the way he does it like I stop for a second and do like a tiny little setup. He doesn't do a setup at all. He kind of just wings the whole thing and kind of gets it a lot. So shout outs to Ouija, man. He's a king. Okay. So we missed the hover here, but we can back it up with a little restart warp. It'll put us in pretty much the exact same spot. Loses about 2 seconds, but it's not too bad. So yeah, walls are a joke. We're gonna fly through this wall really quick. That's the precipice for this run. Honestly, just walls are a joke. The run. That's it.
Yeah, I also just want to make a point. Like, it's easy to watch a run like this and see that hover glitch and think like, why not just use it to hover from like one part of the city to the other? You actually can't do that because you need to pass through like certain loading zones for the city to actually load in. But with this hover here that he just did, the room that he landed in actually is a loading zone, so he can, make that little shortcut. And
very handy.
Just fine.
It's very, very handy. Yeah. If you miss one of those loading zones and you hover, for example, so you hover over a wall but you miss the loading zone, then as a result that can cause the city to not load and you will just fall into the void and die. And that'll put you right back at the last checkpoint that you got, which usually is like a very far away from your destination. So, it's good to know where to hover and when to hover to save the most time. Pardon me, sorry. Yeah, this is another race. There are in total 3 races that we do. I want to say in this speedrun. Yeah. This is one of them, the ring race. I'm not gonna go for ringless because I'm not very good at it. But there's a strat that you can do here. I'll try my best to explain it. Smoker, you're probably good at ringless, but essentially, if I turn left here, right by the Mars 2 entrance there, if I turn left there, the rings will still load, but I can just ignore the rings and go to the next areas, saving like that little turn. Like saving that little roundabout bit around the tomb there. So that's nice time save, but the only problem if oh, okay, that was a solid person. That can happen. That is the people in this game like to be people, and they actually like to have solid matter. So if you bump into them, there's a chance you can go spinning out like that. And it just loses you time. Like you see, my opponent has caught up to me a little bit, but see if I can get away from him a little bit more.
Yeah, the collision on the NPCs here is a big reason why people really struggle doing this race in their like casual playthroughs.
Yeah,
even in speedrunning, it's really difficult to get fast.
That was a big jump. Yeah, I was talking about the rings. Yeah, if you miss a ring and then hit the next ring, you can it will automatically fail the mission. But if you miss a ring and don't hit any other rings, because the end trigger for this mission isn't actually a ring, you can you can just go to the end trigger of the mission and skip all of the rings, but you don't get the speed boost that the rings give you. So it's a little harder, and if you hit, for example, if you hit a solid person or you bump into a wall or something and you lose all of that speed, then there's a chance, due to the rubber banding of the AI, that he will catch up to you pretty quickly. So there's a chance you can lose the race with that, and that's why I tend to not go for ringless until I'm a little more counted, a little more practiced at it, should I say, yeah. Because it can actually save you time. I think it saves about 5 to 10 seconds-ish, 5 to 8 seconds over the rings if you do them really, really cleanly and really, really well. So yeah, off to a life seed right now. This is a life seed. Essentially, this level you're supposed to go into a mech and oh, I might actually miss this. You're supposed to go into a mech. Okay, there you go. We got it. You're supposed to go into a mech and go around this like really long gauntlet. Oh, I'm surprised that worked. Okay. You're supposed to go into a mech and over this really long gauntlet of like moving stones and jumping and parkouring, but we decided, you know what, that's too slow. We want to go fast. So we just hover through the wall there. It was a little bit scuffed, but we hover through the wall there, and that's fine. And we jump into the trigger of the end loading zone. Okay, I got it. Would you like to explain Ghost Town, Smoker?
Yeah, for sure. So he hovered over the airlock that is acting as like an entrance to that area he was just in. That airlock is actually just a very cleverly disguised loading screen. The developers use those as like a way to load in like different levels without actually having to ruin sort of the immersion of the open world. But by skipping the airlock animation, the city only loads in like partially, and so that results in having no NPCs or vehicles. And that's just really useful because it means you can navigate the city a bit easier.
Yep. Like you saw there, actually, in the Ghost Town once I was done with the Ghost Town there, I hovered through a wall, and there was no enemies to block me. There was no vehicles to block me, so it just makes it easier. There's not really a lot of places, to my knowledge, that you can do that. I know of 3, but correct me if I'm wrong. There could be more. Yeah, there's one outside of Mars Tomb. If you're fast enough to get up the elevator, the camera can actually get stuck, and if you are fast enough to get through the door doesn't partially load, and then it'll partially load the city as well, doing essentially the exact same thing, but earlier on in the run. So after the boss fight that we were talking about before, after that boss fight, we can do that, and it'll save us a little bit of time because we don't actually have to you know, do any of we don't have to actually hit any. I don't know what I'm saying, but
yeah, the city will be empty, so there's
yeah,
no
it's easier. It's easier. Yeah.
Yeah. Ghost Town equals easy. That's the equation.
Yeah, there's another one coming up after this mission actually that I'm going to do. It makes a lot of hovering easier. That's the reason you want to be able to do that. The reason you want to be able to do that is so you can hover over walls. You don't actually hit into anyone. Like, now there's some parts you've actually seen. I think I hit a few people with some of the hovers. There's a few parts that you've actually seen where I just bonk off of people when I hover, or bonk off a wall by mistake. It's Ghost Town makes that easy because it kind of removes, you know, all of that. All of that problem. So we're gonna restart the mission here because I don't feel like walking or hoverboarding over to our friend here. So restarting the mission there puts us right next to our friend here, and our mission here is just to defend him. But there is actually another purpose to this mission. So you'll see I'm not actually shooting them, and there's a very specific reason for that. I'm collecting ammo. What we want, after the Class 2 race before, when I hovered into that room, I picked up something called the Peacemaker. It is a brand new gun. The Peacemaker is a brand new gun, and we need 10. We need full ammo essentially for to make a skip later on easier. So what we do here, we just punch and kick these dudes, just casually slaughter a bunch of police people, and then you know, collect all the ammo that we need for this section, and once we're full on ammo, we are full on ammo, we can start just shooting them all. So yeah, it's very, very nice.
Yeah, it might seem weird to like not just shoot because that would seem faster, but these enemies all appear on like cycles, so it doesn't matter how fast you kill them, the next cycle will always appear at the same time. So yeah, it's better to just farm the ammo and then shoot when you don't need any more.
So by all technicality, this is an auto-scroller, right? Because yeah, I believe they are all on the same cycles. Like there should be only another 2 jetpack guys, I think. I don't actually know the cycles.
The only way you could like gain or lose time is on like the last wave, but you're going to be shooting them anyway, so
yeah. I'm also picking up a lot of ammo here as well. Like it loses me a tiny bit of time because I'm going out of my way to actually pick up the ammo. But there is a reason I'm doing that. There's my particular reason. We need this gun a little bit later on in the run to do a rescue mission. Oh, that guy didn't die. I was wondering why the mission didn't end yet. But I think that should be all of them. That's all of the waves. So I'm just going to preemptively... Yep, we're going to preemptively go this way. Preemptively go this way, and that's Protect Samos. That's that auto-scroller done. And because we left a little bit earlier, we're right en route to the good thing. Yes, this area. We can go back quicker. There you go. Oh, I thought I missed that. Okay, yeah, so that's Protect Samos, and we're gonna do another ghost town here. So it's very, very, very lovely. As you can see, there's a lot of skips, a lot of outbounds movement. There's a lot of fancy tech in this run that make it actually a really, really fun speedrun. Oh, I missed the hover. That's another thing that can happen right there. I tried to perform the hover, but Jak kind of just did a flip. The hover inputs can do that. It's not the easiest thing in the world. Like, you might see me do it like pretty consistently, and you're like, oh, it must be like really easy or consistent to do. It is. I can tell you, it takes a lot of practice and a lot of time to get down. But here's a good example, actually, because I failed the ghost town. A lot of these enemies are not enemies. A lot of these like NPCs and vehicles are spawned. That makes what I've just done there a lot harder, which is not good. But I managed to get through it, which was pretty nice.
Yeah, another obvious advantage to the ghost town is just also skipping the airlock animation. Like, it's just faster to not walk in there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, what we're doing right now, I'm going away from my objective marker right now, but there's a reason that we're going to do that. The reason that we do that is because I just don't feel like doing the mission, honestly. I'd rather just go over this way. It's nicer.
Yeah, no other reason.
Yeah, no other reason. That's the scenic reason. No, there's a legitimate reason. I'll tell you a legitimate reason. This is called lurker storage. Those things on the side there, you see the 6 of them. We're supposed to be rescuing them in that mission, but because I'm mean, don't tell Peter we're not going to save them. I'm mean, and I don't like them. They're meanies.
No, we're not going to save them yet, alright? We'll come back.
Yeah, we'll come back, yeah. Essentially, this mission, lurker storage, activating this mission but going over this way. For some reason, this mission trigger is still active, so we can go and do 2 separate missions here instead. See, I got the cutscene there, and we're going to go through the portal here. Doing these 2 missions here actually saves us a little bit of time, and I will explain why after these 2 missions. But yeah, this is one I'll try and explain. The end trigger for this mission is at the very start of the level, but just above you. So, you know, we just fly up to the very start of the level, and you know, we just get the thing there. You know, wait a second before skipping that cutscene, because, actually, I should mention, this game has a massive tendency to just crash randomly. It is quite unstable sometimes, and especially, pardon me, especially when you're doing, like, speedrun stuff, it's not going to be easy. So, let me just walk down here really quick. Yeah, like we said before, there's a lot of out-of-bounds movement. This is one of the big ones. We just skip it. You can see to my left down there, there's, like, a big room that we have to go through. That skips that entire room. Pretty much doing this skips that entire room. We just walk out of bounds, and it's all lovely.
Yeah, it's as easy as it looks, by the way. You literally just walk right past the door, and you can't fall down. So shout outs to Quality Assurance for giving us that skip. It would make this mission a lot worse if that wasn't possible.
Oh yeah, these mech sections are long, like very long. Very long. Like there's one here. Like we mentioned before in Life Seed, we skipped one of the long mech sections just by hovering over. Sadly, we don't have that luxury in this mission because we actually need the mech suit at the end of this mission. So, yeah, we kind of have to bring it with us, and it's really slow and tedious. But if anyone in the Jak community can find a drill tower skip, that'd be lovely. You know. But yes, I should mention also I am going to be very, very careful not to die in this mission. And there's a very big reason for that. The reason is the little thing called the Drive of Shame. If I die in this mission, the storage that we got from the lurkers is completely overwritten and basically deleted. So we won't have the lurkers mission in the background as a result, and we can't do the skip that I'm going to do at the end of this mission if I die. So we have to be very careful, especially in this next section after this mech bit, to not die. That's the goal, essentially.
It sounds really simple, but if you were paying attention, you would have seen a bunch of fire and lasers. If he wants to do this fast, he's going to be jetboarding past all of that, and so that's why the Drive of Shame here is so prominent, because one misstep and you basically have lost like a minute and 15 seconds or so.
Yep. I should mention what I'm doing here as well. I'm waiting for the metalheads to these guys are called metalheads, by the way. They do not listen to heavy metal, but that's just what we call them. Yeah, they can jump on the mech and damage the mech, but also if they're close enough to you when you're punching the computers there, Jak, the game thinks it's helping you and it likes to automatically target them. So there's a chance you can just lose time to not hitting the computer and actually hitting the metalhead instead. Okay, I'm gonna focus up for this bit a little bit, but this is what Smoker was talking about before about the this bit. There's a lot of fire. I did it first time. Wow. There's a lot of fire. There's a lot of hazards. If you fall or die in this section at all, then lurker storage is completely gone. But that was pretty clean.
That was heaps clutch, man. Good shit.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you want to aim for about sub-minute. Top runners can get, like, on that timer before a minute. They can get to the elevator just before a minute, and they can be hovering up the elevator before a minute. So, almost instinctively quit the game there. That's, that ain't good. But yes, now, Peter, will make you happy. We'll go save the animals. And this is
so because he stored the mission, he can just save warp to the beginning of it, and that skips having to drive all the way back.
Yep, that's why if we die there, it's so catastrophic, because it's such a long distance to travel. Like I was traveling there before. Like once we got out of the mountain area, out of the forest area, I was traveling from talking to that guy to the mission area. That's about how long it takes via a jetboard, but we cut that time in, well, I wouldn't say in half, we cut that time shorted by the hover that we do over that bit, so it can actually take over a minute to drive back, which is not great, especially if you're on a PB pace run and you get that, then that's unfortunate. But yeah, we're just gonna save these guys really quickly, you know, nothing too fancy here.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
You can indeed.
Oh, thank you. We have Anonymous who donates $5 and says Jak II Poggers. Well, thank you, Anonymous.
Jak
and
II
keep
is
them
indeed
coming.
Poggers.
We have a lot of great prizes for you guys to catch this weekend.
Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Thank you for the $5, Anonymous. Yes, Jak II Poggers. This is honestly, I'll tell you a fun little story. There's not much going on with this mission, really. We just shoot these things and then we kill them. We don't kill them. We destroy the vehicles and we take these guys over to the little hidey holes over here, and we can save them. That's the whole point of this mission. But I'll tell you a little story. This was one of my first Jak games, because there's several Jak games in this series. This was one of the first I played, and my older brother actually introduced me to this series. So this is the one I've been playing this game since I was about 7 years old, honestly. Way back in like 2008, 2009. And it's such a good game. It's so fun. It plays very, very well on the older consoles. On the newer consoles, it's a bit not great, but yeah, it still performs really well. And the HD remaster on these consoles, I have to admit, looks beautiful. I am playing on a PS5, I should mention. The only reason I mention that is because of like some little inconsistencies with movement and stuff on the D-pad, not the D-pad, the joystick and stuff. There's something called directional inputs on the PS4 and PS5 versions of this game, which essentially lock Jak in only 16 directions. You can only move in 16 directions, I believe. So it's, you know, it's not great. That restriction isn't on the older versions of the game, so Jak can move in a fluid like 360 circle, and it's very, very nice. So yeah, there's just a little inconsistency with the movement there, and it makes doing some movement in this game a little more difficult. But yeah, we're gonna do a race now, which is very nice. This is the championship race, the big final race that we're supposed to be doing. We activate that cutscene, we just restart, and it just puts us straight in the race. It's very nice. There's not really much I can say. There are lap skips, but sadly I'm not going to attempt them. Oh, why should we? I don't know.
Oh, it's up to you, man. I'm not going to pressure. Do it.
God. We'll try one. If it goes bad, it's the first lap. It's fine. So essentially, okay. That is a lap skip, but that was kind of a scuffed version of one. Essentially,
that was very sus.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say don't do it anymore.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do any more. But that was a lap skip. Essentially, 5 of them can save you time, but there's also a chance it can lose you quite a bit of time, because as you saw, I kind of like did 18 flips in the air there. You know, and it wasn't very fast. If you land to the right-hand side of that, like if you land where I am now, to the right-hand side of that, it's a lot easier. Like you can just turn into the tunnel and just like boost right through the tunnel. But if there's a chance you can miss it and go like complete opposite direction and it's unoptimal, there's actually a chance it'll lose you time as a result of that. So, you know.
Yeah, and as opposed to the first race that we did, the lap skips in this one don't save as much time. You have to get like really clean ones to make it really worth doing. So
yeah,
it is like quite a big risk if you're not like super confident in hitting it every time.
I'm definitely not super confident, especially hitting like the big ones like every time. Like the big ones every time, like landing right next to the tunnel is the best way to do that. Is the best way to do it. So if I land like, say if I did the jump and I landed right next to the tunnel, I can just go straight through the tunnel, and then it'll save me more time than it loses me. But the reason I personally don't do them is because there's such a big risk to like not saving that much time. It's something I need to practice realistically, but yeah, that's the end of the race there. 206. Realistically, you want to aim for sub 2 minutes, but you know, lap skips can definitely help with that. Oh dear, wait, give me that. Nice. Oh dear God. So this bit is a bit like not fun. Essentially, everyone is shooting at us at the same time, and it's not very nice. All of the vehicles are after us, all of the guards are after us, and essentially we have to get to the end quickly without dying or without getting shot, because that just loses so much time. Like you might have seen there that I got shot and my vehicle was like getting bounced about a little bit.
Yeah, these guards are really annoying. This is basically what the max like level wanted, the wanted level looks like when it's at its max, because I think there's 2 or 3 stages of being wanted by a Crimson Guard, and for whatever reason, I mean, narratively speaking, there's a reason, but coming out of that race, they're all trying to kill you.
Yeah, Jak won the race, therefore he's bad. They want to kill him. They're jealous.
Yeah, Jak bad.
Yeah, that was the hover I tried to do after the first race there. It saves us doing the restart from the start there. It's very nice. We're gonna go on this. Actually, this is a really, really lengthy mission. You know, it's a very beautiful mission. You know, we're gonna explore this. We're gonna explore this wondrous palace, this wondrous tower in the middle of the city. It's like beautiful. Everything's all fine and nice. We're gonna explore exactly. This is how the rich people live. You know, we're gonna explore it all. We're gonna have a grand old time. We're gonna get really good views. It's gonna be wonderful. And yeah, that's the mission done, so I hope you enjoyed the palace tour. It was very lovely. Some very, very nice views that we saw there. I love that. I don't know why, I just love that. Yes, that is a little difficult to explain, what I just did there, but it's very nice.
Yeah, that palace level, it's kind of designed in a weird way. It's a huge mission in casual play, but for whatever reason, they laid it out so that the end of the mission is in the same like area as the start, and the elevator leading into the start of the mission is the same elevator that you use to leave, and so you can trip the game out into thinking you're in the last room, and then just enter that elevator again and you're done.
Yeah, like we were talking before about like checkpoints and like loading zones and stuff. I believe by hovering out of that area we hit the ending trigger. And then it tricks the game into thinking, oh wait, you're actually in the ending trigger. So the second we re-enter the elevator, it just lets us, you know, just takes us back down. But I restarted the mission to save time. Oh, we got this blind actually. This might be a bit too far. Okay, no, I think we're fine.
I think you're good. Yeah.
Just about, yeah. Okay, that one's a little harder to explain as well, but essentially, doing that optimally, the level will load beneath me. Instead of the black void, the level will completely load beneath me, and I'll be able to see exactly where I'm hovering to. Essentially, we want to hover into this blue room, and as a result, here we're in this blue room, and that's the whole level pretty much. That level in casual play is really, really long, so we decided, you know what, let's just fly over it. But you would have seen there as well, I actually hovered upwards to where those guards were, and then I ground pounded down. That is because that's the required trigger that you need to hit to actually spawn this boss. So what we do there, we hover up to that little platform and we jump down from that platform. And once we jump down from that platform, where's it? We're missing some blobs. This is not good. Okay, there you go. Once we jump down from that platform, we can hover up to, like, into the big blue circle area. That actually acts now, because the boss is technically loaded, that acts as the death plane for this boss. So in theory, if I were to jump off of the map right now, I would hit that death plane, but that death plane extends so far down that we can hit it from that room, essentially skipping the robots in that room. Which is really, really nice. It's a nice little time save, so you don't have to actually waste any ammo killing those guys. You don't have to fight them. It'll save about 20-30 seconds, depending on how long it takes for you to kill them. You know. Yeah, there's not much to this one either. Really, we're just gonna kill the boss. I will say this though. There's a little boss skip that's coming up here. So essentially, I'm gonna hit him twice with our Peacemaker. This is the Peacemaker, by the way, it's beautiful. I'm going to hit them twice with the Peacemaker, and I'm going to do a glitch called Peacemaker stacking. There you go, we got it. So as you can see there, we are stacking 5 Peacemaker shots at the same time. Okay, that might not have worked. It worked, but there was a chance that might not have worked because he shot me. Okay, I will let the smarter person in the call right now explain kind of how that works, if he wants to. But,
yeah, for sure, man. So yeah, the way Recon damaged the boss was in a way that he would only take 5 more hits to kill. But obviously you have to damage the boss fight in 3 different phases, but you can get him down to 5 hits in the second phase. And so by hitting him with 5 shots at once, we can basically skip that final phase and just completely finish the boss fight.
Yeah, it's very nice. I believe the way it works is because you can jump, spin, and shoot with the yellow gun, and if you do that, like 5 bullets will spray out in a circle, pretty much. And what we do, we jump, spin, and then we shoot, but we activate the yellow gun, and then immediately swap to the purple gun. And it kind of tricks the game into thinking that we're firing 5 purple gun instead of 5 yellow gun. So it stacks it all together, and all of those are... like, yeah, it stacks them all together, and all of that is just easy. It skips the final phase of the boss. It's really nice, quite generous time save there. Originally, it was only 2. Originally, we found a way to stack only 2, but I don't know how long ago it was. We found a way to stack 5 instead, and we managed to skip the final phase of that fight, just saving us honestly about 30 to 40 seconds, because that final phase takes a while if you don't do it correctly, so it's very nice. At the moment, not much going on, we're just doing a minigame, so yeah.
Do you want me to explain Underport?
Yeah, you can do.
Yeah, so after this like little whack-a-mole minigame, he's gonna head to a level called Underport, and there's an elevator that takes him down underwater, and he's supposed to get into a mech suit and go through this really long level, but he's actually going to skip that. We talked about the airlocks before and how they kind of act as loading zones. Elevators are the same, and so what he's going to do is he's going to phase through the camera through the elevator, and it's going to deload Haven City and then partially load in the Underport level. And with some clever movement, he can actually get into the Underport level from Haven City as it deloads, and then he can do a hover to the end of the level and completely skip it.
You completely skip the mech section, yeah. I like to roll jump there and then do a punch board. Loads that area there. Okay, I'm very happy we didn't crash. There's a chance that can crash if you do it wrong, so I'm very happy we didn't crash there. This is going to be very tight.
Really clean, man. Good stuff.
Oh, okay. We just missed, just about missed, as you say that, yeah. We just about missed the trigger. That was a really, really weird hover. I hovered a bit too far to the left there, but we can do it again, it's fine.
Yeah, so this is the elevator that deloads Haven City.
There you go. I say not so far to the left this time. We're gonna do a hover. No, we're not. Okay. Forgive me. We see what I mean though with the hovers. They're not exactly perfect every time, right? Like there's always a chance that they can go completely wrong if you mess up the inputs ever so slightly, like I did there. Like I messed up what way to push on the stick there, so it can mess that up a little bit. But third time's the charm. There you go.
Yeah, so the hover's like it's a simple trick, and it's not like super hard in theory, but like unfortunately we use it so much that like there are just really punishing hovers that if you miss, like you just lose a ton of time.
Yeah. Like that one, for example, if I missed that, I have to go all the way back up the elevator, you know, it's, then if I want to attempt it again, I have to do it again. And it's, not great, but... Whee! Alright, this one is, this level's pretty auto-scrollery. We just run away from this big guy. It's all very nice. Run away from that big guy, and then that's that.
Yeah, there's a couple of ways you can speed this up, but unfortunately your camera is in a fixed position whenever you're running away from that big metalhead. So it makes it really difficult to like try and skip ahead and do this really fast. So a lot of people will just opt to play it safe and play the auto-scroller more or less as intended.
Yep. There you go. Now we're back with our friend over here. This is another one. It's very similar to the sewers auto-scroller. This is another one. We cannot die in this level because it will put us right back at the start. The game is very mean with auto-scrollers like that, honestly. And thankfully, I think... No, there's one more. I think there's one more coming up. Would you count Defense Stadium as an auto-scroller, Smoker?
Yeah, I guess like a defense mission auto-scroller.
Yep. That's the end of the underport right there, so... Very, very clean. Well, it wasn't, but like, yeah. It wasn't as clean as it could have gone, but it was still pretty clean, you know. So.
Are you going for shaft skip here, or are you going to just drive?
I'm going to attempt.
Okay, cool.
If I don't get the out of bounds first time, we'll just drive. If I get the out of bounds, I'll explain kinda how it works. Oops. Ignore that. Little fender bender right there. Okay, so essentially, what we're gonna do, we're gonna partially deload the city. This is called shaft skip. It will save us about 20 seconds? 15, 20 seconds? Okay,
yeah, give or take.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go for it again. But essentially, what we do, we use this vehicle and we jump over this wall, but we have to carry the vehicle with us. There you go, we carry the vehicle with us. And then we use this vehicle to just hover up and down. And then we wait by this area. I believe it loaded. Yeah, we wait by this area just for the palace to load. And once the palace is loaded, it will also load one of the support towers in the background over there. And essentially, what we want to do, we want to do a really long hover. A really long and really high hover to the very top of this, tower. Video stuttering, or is it just me? It looks to be on my end. I don't know if that's on me or not, but... Okay, we got the deload, but we're actually in the area, which isn't ideal, because there's a chance that the door won't open like this, so we have to restart the mission, and just hope that it puts us in the correct place. No, that's so sad. Okay. Essentially, failing it like that will put us back here, and we have to drive all the way back over. So if you drop the hover mid-air, for example, if you, what else can you do? You can drop the hover mid-air, you can, what else? You can drop the hover mid-air, you can, like, die out of bounds, it'll put you right back there, and it's the worst when you're midway through the hover and it either drops or you fail the skip. Because essentially what you're doing, once you hover all the way to that top area, you're loading in, the what's it called? You're loading in the place. This place. You're loading it in. Yes, you're loading it back in, and you're hitting the trigger. So, essentially landing back down here. You'll know you got it once the minimap disappeared. I knew I got it because the minimap disappeared, but I didn't do it right because I I know I did it right because the map disappeared, but because I landed in the actual shaft itself, like they didn't do it properly. So so essentially I had to do this really long drive. We would have been done with this mission by now if I got it first time, pretty much. But yeah, unfortunate time loss, but it happens. You know, it happens.
Yeah, it's like the exception to the rule. Like I mentioned before, like you can't just hover from one part of the city to the other, but using loading zones, you can make it work for this one instance. Right.
Yeah. So technically, technically with the palace, the shaft, we call it the shaft. It's the shaft, right? That is also loaded with the palace because you travel up in a casual playthrough. Like early on in the game, you actually travel up the palace elevator through the shaft. So once you've got the loading zone for the palace at the very start, when you're out of bounds, as a result, that's it loads that area as well. So that's what I think is happening there. Okay, again, we don't really want to be wasting too much yellow ammo here because, actually, fun fact, the final boss is coming up very soon, so...
on this mission, you'll see him alternate between, like, the red gun and the blue gun. Basically, he wants to save yellow ammo here because that's what he's going to primarily be using to take on the final boss.
Yeah, final boss is coming up in about 3 or 4 minutes here, so actually not that long. It's about 3 minutes. We're coming to the very end of the run here, so apparently we're having some technical difficulties on the stream. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. So, apparently my feed is all working fine. So...
We're looking into it. It is not on your end, Recon.
Okay. Just making sure.
No, you're fine. You're doing great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'll explain this a little bit. This is going to be some con site movement. We're going to move to the con site pretty much, but we want to do it as optimally and as fast as possible. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hover through this area. It's a little bit of a tight window, but we're going to hover through this area. We're going to fall down here.
Wow, Recon, you swagging out. I can't for jetboard movement?
Yeah. This is actually really difficult movement to get right, just because of the amount of enemies that are in the city, the amount of the things that can block you off and things like that. So, essentially, what's happening here, we're going to do this death warp that you saw me do earlier as well. I've not been pointing out death warps. Pretty much death warps are the biggest thing in this run, because like, we just want to move through the city as fast as possible, so dying in certain parts but grabbing different checkpoints will like warp us to different areas. Like, I failed that one. I'm not going to attempt it again. I'm just going to go over here, but essentially hovering through there would have put us about oh, I got shot. Yeah, you can see how dangerous some of the hoverboard movement here is. Here, it would have put us about here. Oh, we're back? Okay, we're back. Very good to hear. So, yep, we hover up here, and we're going to do one big final hover. Fun fact, Smoker actually kind of lost his mind when I successfully got this in my world record.
Yeah, I was so, like, surprised you went for it, because he made it look easy, but there's a lot of enemies around on that overpass that he's on, and that can, like, interrupt your hover, so, like, yeah. It's kind of a risky play, especially on world record pace, but he did it.
I managed to do it, yep. It was funny, you were streaming at the time, actually, right? You were streaming at the time, and then, like, yeah.
On my other monitor.
He was watching my stream on the other monitor, and then he got the world record. I got the world record. He's like, "Oh my god, let's go!" I'm like, "Yay!" So yeah, time will actually be coming up here soon. What we're gonna do one last hover to one last death warp, and it'll put us right next to the carrier. So we're gonna do this over here. This one last hover we're gonna do over here, and we're gonna land. We're gonna die pretty much, and then it's gonna put us over here. And now there's one last, well, 2 hovers left to do, and then it's the final boss. Then we're going to be coming up on time. Now, the problem with me at the moment, I am not very good at the final boss. We'll see how this goes. Okay, I completely forgot how to skip cutscenes right there for some reason. Alright, one final hover. This one has a tendency to drop because of lag. Okay, we have to go for it now, right? Swag hover to finish the run. Swag hover to finish the run.
Final hover now.
Yeah, swag hover to finish the run, and then it's the final boss. So we'll see how fast I can beat this. You're better at the final boss, so you could probably explain a bit than I can, like what's happening.
So you're just trying to maximize like DPS here with the yellow gun. You'll see him do the double charge shot with the Peacemaker in phase 2. But
yep, here we go. It's this phase that's the big one.
The same thing, just spinning and shooting.
Yep. It's not easy because every time he does an attack, he goes into an invulnerability state like that, so you can't really shoot him. You want to minimize the amount of times he actually does an attack, which I'm not entirely sure how to do. So, you know, should have enough ammo.
Ideally, he will do this attack twice, but
time is coming up soon, by the way.
Specific movement.
Forewarning, time is coming up the second he drops to the floor. So, and that is time, right there.
GG Recon.
Thank you. Okay, that was a little bit scuffed, but we made it work. I'm gonna try something here. Can I do it? Where are we at? There you go.
What are you doing?
I put it into debug mode. We're in debug mode. I don't actually know where we are right now. There's a chance we can see Jak. I don't know. Anyway, that's Jak 2. That is time. Very, very, very nice. It's a very fun speed game. Would definitely recommend. play casually though. It's also a very fun casual game as well. Yeah, there's not really much I can say about it right now. There he is! Look, there's Jak! Hi guys.
GG,
Oh, man, a
that was
precursor.
amazing.
Yeah, it's a very fun run. Very, a lot of tech that's used throughout this run. So I'm just glad we. Oh, what have I done? Oh dear, I did not mean to do that. Okay, yeah, it's a very fun run. A lot of speedy tech that you can do in this game. It's very nice. Yeah. I don't really have much I can say about it other than it's very fancy, with a lot of out of bounds movement, a lot of skips, and believe it or not, it has been beaten faster than that. So yeah.
Thank you both for your commentary throughout the run. It was a very technical run, so we really appreciate all the commentary that went through it.
Yeah, hope we did it justice. Hope we did the run justice.
Yeah, thanks for having us, guys.
Yes. Thank
Say
you
hello to
for coming.
Jak in the void right now. Look at him. It's beautiful.
Do you have any plugs that you would like to do before we go to intermission?
Well, saying that, I'm gonna take a big break from this game. I think this game, honestly, with the amount of grinding I have been doing with it, it's very mentally draining for me, especially. So I think I'm gonna take a break from this game, and I'm going to move on to a different game. Instead, I'm going to move on to Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart as a speed game. So that's going to be fun. Maybe I'll run it in a future marathon. Who knows? But that is probably what I'll be streaming a lot over my Twitch channel. So if anyone's
That's
interested
exciting.
in that, yeah, if anyone's interested in that, then yeah, that's what I'll be doing. I do want to give one final shout out to Bob, though, Hillary Puff. Sadly, he was unable to be here. It is very late for him. He DM'd me this morning saying, hey, I'm going to try and be there, but it's been a bit of a rough day. You know, I'm going to probably just gonna be sleeping, but if I'm asleep, I'm sorry I couldn't make it. Big shout outs to him. Very great guy. Would definitely say go check him out. He's actually world record contender for Jak III at the moment. He's grinding that down, so... Very nice. Very sad he couldn't be here, but you know, he's here with us in spirit. He's here with us in spirit.
Of
And
course
also,
he is.
yes.
And we had both of you guys, and you did a great job. So
I appreciate
thank
that.
you
Yeah.
so much.
Big
Any
shout outs to
shout-outs,
Smoke. Yeah, big shout outs to Smoke here.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for having us and appreciate what you guys are doing with the marathon. And if anyone wants to learn about Jak speedruns, you can head over to jakspeedruns.com.
Yeah.
Well, that's an easy one. That's great.
Or the Discord. We do have a Discord as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, we will be going to intermission. We've been having a little lag problem with the stream, so let's see if we can get that fixed. And afterwards, we will be back with Cuphead played on a Guitar Hero controller. So let's stay for that. Thank
Sounds
you,
lovely.
everyone.
Thanks,
See
guys.
you soon.
Thank you, everyone. Very nice.